Hi hunters, hope everyone is having fun with AT Arkveld. I know I am. In this video, I'll be showcasing my first attempt at AT Arkveld along with my thoughts on the fight and some tweaks I would make for future 10-star Arc Tempered hunts. Let's get into it. Okay, so jumping into AT Arkveld Hunt, right now, I don't really know that we need to go to Cam 13, so right now you see me just kind of look through while we make our way to AT Arkveld. So I made the conclusion right here is that you need to set up Cam 13 in order to get to Arkveld the fastest. It's yeah, well, I didn't really do this beforehand, so I just thought, yeah, why not? Just give me some time to talk to you guys in regards to this aspect of this hunt. So AT Arkveld is, I would say it's one of the most difficult hunts at the moment that we have. I mean, not as hard as Savage Omega, but it is there, I would say. So, AT Arkveld is more or less the same as a 9.5 Tempered Arkveld. The only major difference is that it has a different combo in terms of what it has a slightly different combo of what it does, especially like the triple chain attack. There's like a variation to that attack, as well as some other new attacks that AT Arkveld will do on top of what it does at the moment, coming out of 9.5 Tempered Arkveld. It is a very, very fun fight. I really do recommend this. So if, just in case you didn't know, I am using the AAA build that I have on the channel. You can feel free to check that video out to get a much more understanding on what the build does. I do think this build completely counters AT Arkveld, especially now that we are fighting him in Runes of Viveria. We completely take advantage of both group skill, Alert Soul, as well as Ward of Viveria. This does extend to our blocking as well. Whenever we perfect guard, you can see that the Ward of Viveria is activated. So every time we guard, we are able to kind of activate it, which is very, very good. And it does, well, on a single hit you don't really do a lot, you won't see a lot of differences, but over time, as you keep guarding our AT Arkveld's attack, the more time Ward of Viveria kind of activates, it actually does stacks up in terms of value. And do keep in mind, I'm not running any recovery on this build. It's only just Ebony Odogaron and Jin the Hot. So the only downside to this build is that you will need to be very careful and really on point with a perfect guard, which I do think most of you should already know after going through so many Arkveld hunts, right? The Arkveld hunt is basically just a matter of perfect guarding. Some attacks you can't really perfect guard because it does attack twice, like right now, like just now we did kind of, while we do perfect guard the first hit, but since the attack has a double hit, it basically forces you into a normal guard, which is not that great of a, it's not really that great, but still it is what it is. We are able to activate offensive guard twice, so that's one of the, I would say it's a give or take, right? It's a benefit as well as not really a benefit. So AT Arkveld has a second phase where he goes into the Guardian state, and you have like very, very different attacks. Like right now, you see me just kind of almost die here. Like, oh my god, I got caught surprised by the attacks. I was not expecting the Guardian attack to basically explode on my position, so I basically just, you know, expecting it to come by wave, but evidently not. But yeah, as right now, I'm just gonna be very cautious. It doesn't really feel too much different, with the exception, of course, the Guardian attacks. The Guardian attacks are basically like the white light of all on some of his attack. The doesn't really do a whole lot with it. I mean, there are some. It's basically an additional attacks on top of his normal moveset. I did die here, but it's fine. We got saved by Arkveld, though, so that's not too bad. This is the one. This is the wave attack that I was talking about. I was expecting like a wave of attack rather than the explosion right on top of my current position. But yeah, so that's most probably why I got hit by that. But it's fine. And right now we're just gonna try to get used to his moveset. I mean, it is like the first attempt, right? Usually the first attempt is gonna be very, very rough as we see the new moves that Arkveld is doing. Oh, but this hunt is really a workout. He's not a normal monster. He's not even a normal. He's not really a pushover monster like Shadowcabra or so. He really demands a lot of it. And I do think the health on Arch-Tempered Arkveld is like he has a lot of HP. I was fighting. He was like, why do you feel so tanky? One more thing that I think can be really good to incorporate into your hunt is that whenever he does like certain attacks, there are a possibility that he will create a special wound on his chain blades. That you will try to take advantage of those windows so that you can get like free damage in, because those basically are free damage. So over here, Arkveld basically goes straight into the thunder bugs, which is hilarious there. Oh, and one more thing: if Arkveld is flying, is using the flying attack, you can actually flash him out of the sky, which is something I didn't really realize until after I go through a lot more hunts. I gotten a lot more practice with it. You can actually just flash him down. You don't really have to wait for it. Of course, you know. It also depends on if your reaction time is quick enough or not. I am getting smacked around really, really hard. But yeah, the key to this fight is basically just perfect guard. Try to get as much perfect guard as possible. Don't be like me, keep getting hit, and even to the point where I get stunned as well. Also, one thing to keep in mind, I do think you get stunned pretty easily going against the 10-star. So yeah, do be very, very careful. That's basically guts activating there. Not good. Not good for damage, but you know, survivability is well, we do get some survivability. Over here you did see me kind of just dilly-dallying around because I'm just trying to see if it's worth it to use the elemental slinger to explode the work crystal generated by Arkveld's attack. But I don't think it's worth it, to be honest. It's taking too much time to kind of get your slinger out and then reload the slinger. So I don't think it's worth it to go for this particular strat. So I would suggest ignore the work crystal. I mean, the damage isn't really as good as well. So you might as well it might be a better idea to just go ahead and leave it alone. You do need to be careful because Arkveld is able to explode those crystals, because most of his attacks are able to, you know, are dealing dragon element damage. So he's going to cause the crystal to explode. Do be very mindful of that. So yeah, I didn't run evade extender in this build, but I don't think you really need it. You just need to be mindful of your surroundings and just be on point with a perfect guard. And also, one thing that I noticed is that AT Arkveld is able to regenerate the wounds, right? So yeah, as soon as you see a wound, try your best to destroy the wound as soon as possible, because it's first off, it's basically free damage. Second off, it kind of locks AT Arkveld in place without him continuing his assault and not giving you like a breathing room. You can. It's kind of like a free damage as well as a control at the same point, which begs the question: maybe Woundbreaker can make a return. But yeah, I'm actively experimenting and trying out builds with the Woundbreaker and see if I can get a lot more value out of the Woundbreaker. And considering the fact that he does generate quite a bit of wounds, be it on the wing arms, the chain blades, or the head, I think Woundbreaker can make a return. It all depends on the armor set. I'm still actively experimenting with it. Do expect like a video on a updated Woundbreaker. I don't know if it's going to work or not, but based on some early testing, I think it's okay, not too bad. So we did get a mount here. What I'm trying to see here is that since we know that the wound on Arkveld is able to regenerate, so if we are going for like a double wound, is that worth it or not? Based on what I see here, I think it's worth it if you can get to the second wound in time. If you are not able to get the second wound, then my suggestion is just go for one wound and then just bring Arkveld down. I don't think it's worth it. I don't think it's really worth it to go for the second wound because of where you land after you finish the mount. But yeah, go for one wound and then just break for it, and then just break the wound if you can, because Arkveld regenerating the wound is pretty quickly, so you might not be able to take full advantage of a double wound on the mount. So right now, after a few bouts with Arkveld, I think normal Gunlance might not be the best choice going against the 10-star, because he doesn't really give you a lot of breathing room, and in order to get Wormstick Full Blast out, like the whole combo, I mean you can, it's just that it might not be a great idea to just keep spamming Wormstick Full Blast, because the timing to get, because of the timing of Arkveld's attacks in between, the window is very, very tight, so it might be a better idea to go for white and take full advantage of the small burst damage that white Gunlance offers. Like because we all know white Gunlance has a better Wyvern Fire as well as a better I mean you do have access to short shelling as well, right? So I do think it's a much better Gunlance shelling type to go against the 10-star. I do think so. After fighting AT Arkveld a bit, that's basically my conclusion after going through.
Charge shelling is also quite efficient in knowing when is your turn and when is the monster's turn, because by the time you finish your charge shelling, it's most likely that the monster is about to attack you. So I think that's a very, very good aspect of charge shelling.
This is the second time I got stunned here. If it's not because of guts there, I most likely would have courage here. But yeah, as you can see, right, I don't think normal is going to help out a lot, because normal requires you to keep using Wormstick Full Blast as well as the Burst Fire. While you can consistently do Burst Fire, it's not really doing a whole lot in terms of damage. You do take quite a bit of time to get like an equivalent of a Wyvern Fire damage when you go for a normal shelling Burst Fire. But me personally, I do think white shelling is a better choice when it comes to AT Arkveld, and considering that the challenge quest is coming up as well, yeah, I would recommend using white shelling for the challenge quest, because of the Wyvern Fire damage as well as giving you access to short shelling. I do think it's a better matchup against AT Arkveld.
Do let me know down in the comment section if you agree or disagree or not. I think white is the answer, going for 10 stars. I mean for now, right? Because we are still quite new to understand how to fight the 10-star. And that's basically for the hunt. 14 minutes. That's basically my first attempt against AT Arkveld. I do hope that my first attempt gives you some hints in how to approach the AT Arkveld fight, and hopefully get yourself some clear. Do let me know down in the comment section on how your attempt goes. A special thank you to my channel members and supporters for continuing to support the channel and the content I make. Your support genuinely helps me keep producing build guides, and hunt showcases like this one. With that being said, hunters, I'll see you in the next one. Courage and honor.